guys? Welcome back to the Game Over podcast. We have our special guest, my boy Harrison Golding.
Yes, sir.
And from Empire Records.
Yep.
How you doing, man?
I'm great, man.
Thanks for being here.
Me. For sure. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has. It has. We're coming off a Grammy week. Empire threw an insane party out here in LA.
Still recovering.
I appreciate Harrison for getting me and my squad in. There was like 150 people outside, so much love there, bro.
It was a good time. It worked. It was fun.
Yeah. So Harrison has done a lot of dope marketing activations. He works with all the top artists in the game, especially, the incredible roster that Empire has and the impact that Empire's had on hip hop over the last 10 years at least. So give us a little background about yourself.
For sure.
And let's start there.
Okay. Yeah, so I oversee our digital and creative departments. And I started in music I don't know, it was by luck almost. Like, I was in college and I was trying to figure out how to get into music, and I had no connections, nobody. And I started just wanting to learn how to video edit, so I made a dumb meme and I posted it on my Instagram, just as a fucking, for shits and giggles. This was when Bad and Bougie was popping off. And I made one, synced it up with a clip, put it on. All my friends were like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You're weird as hell for this. This is on your personal shit. What are you doing? I post it, go to bed, I wake up, it went insanely viral. The Quan, that big meme page, posted it, and I would go through my email because it was linked to my Instagram, and 5 labels had hit me. Were like, do you do this professionally? Hey, we were looking to hire you. Do you want to work on this rollout, this, that? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Call my mom. She's like, don't believe any of it. This is all fake. Fuck out of here, all that. And it wasn't. I hit them all back, and then I just had to start a company. So I started this meme company and started hiring kids to make memes for major labels.
Okay.
Did pretty well at it, and then eventually I met Nima, our CEO, my good friend, and he was like, all right, I want to hire you. What do you want to do? And I just, again, still in college, lied and was like, yeah, I'm out of college, live in LA. Definitely wasn't. And I just put together a job proposal, and the next week Nima would just text me back. He's like, all right, word, let's do it. And then I dropped out of school and joined Empire the next week or something like that.
Amazing.
So,
How long has that been?
4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
It's been a fun ride for sure.
How big's the team at Empire?
When I first joined, we were 40. Now we're almost 140.
Wow.
Something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we've grown quite a bit. So,
wow.
It's a great team.
Is everyone remote, or is everyone based in San Francisco?
So headquarters in San Francisco, but offices all around the world. We have about, I'd say 60 or so team members in SF. And then we have our studio there as well too. So we got some, everywhere.
Right.
But now opening office in Lagos and all over, global.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome. So me and Harrison linked because obviously I was running Rap Nation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how I originally reached out, maybe. And then obviously, Empire being what it is, we got into all the other things that Game Over does.
For sure.
And, you've done a tremendous amount of work in the marketing space for all the artists on Empire. So give us some insight on some of the activations that were your favorite, some of the stuff that really moved the needle that you saw.
Okay.
Kind of just giving the viewers, some real insight on what, what you would recommend, or,
for sure,
just from your experience.
I'm trying to think what's a good one. Well, we got Key Glock coming next week, so I can talk about that one. The Key Glock and all of Young Dolph and PRE rollouts have always been super fun. Dolph, rest in peace, always let us kind of, lend our ideas, and was always pretty welcoming to him. So for Key Glock, we built out a 3D billboard. It was something I had just seen on my Instagram one day for, I think it was somewhere in Japan, someone had done a 3D billboard, and I was like, I'm trying to do this. Figured out a designer that could do it, found a spot on right off Times Square, and we built out this whole 3D billboard. And I think it was a unique combination of an in life IRL to URL, so an in real life activation, and then we brought digital. And once we brought it to the Instagram blogs and kind of seeded it digitally, it had a life of its own. And we luckily did it at the perfect timing. This was the Monday after the album, and it kind of just, it really helped boost sales and took that record, Ambition for Cash, kind of all the way over. So that was really fun.
That's really dope and innovative.
Yeah, it's dope.
You're not seeing a lot of. I mean, you're starting to see labels dive into the 3D billboard space, but it's definitely super effective.
French came back like 2 weeks later and did something similar. It was a little tongue in cheek, but it's unique because at Empire we can kind of wear many hats. So a lot of times they'll like sanction off those departments where it's like your outdoor won't really communicate with your digital department, but in many ways they got to they should work hand in hand across the rollout. So overseeing our department, I think we help with a lot of different parts of the company, and that allows us, if I know we're doing some dope shit with the merch, all right, let me connect with the digital department and see what we can do there. Or if we're doing something on outdoor that I don't know, we need to run advertising around, like I'll connect the dots that way. So
yeah, I think
like good team.
Coming out of the pandemic, everything was all digital for a while,
for sure,
right?
Yeah.
So now we're at that crossroads where the IRL and digital goes hand in hand,
100%.
and it's about figuring out the different ways to collaborate on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So, we've been talking to a bunch of different labels that we work with, and setting up a lot of cool activations here at the house, where it's both IRL event plus an activation on Twitch and bringing it digital, and then incorporating all the IG blogs and everything that basically hits the culture.
Exactly.
So
like we spend
really
so much
dope.
time at the house. I think people are ready to go outside, but there's still like certain characteristics and certain media consumption habits that we all still indulge in, and platforms we still use. So I think you guys do it really well with some of your streamers for sure. Like what you were just telling me about the NLE Chop example was super dope. I need to do that.
Yeah. We'll definitely do some cool stuff there this year.
For sure.
And as far as your experience and the activation you've done in the gaming space, in particular, I know you guys have built out some really dope activations within Roblox. Tell me a little bit more about that.
With the Roblox example, so I think we're always trying to work, in whatever platform is leading the way, and obviously, Roblox with kind of taking a life of its own. We saw that, there were certain worlds that we could place billboards in and work with a partner and kind of, amplify our rollout. And again, kind of what we're speaking to. This was just, I guess, taking digital to another platform, but we had it was a Tyga record. It was Tyga and Doja Cat, Freaky Deaky. Obviously, sexual in nature, but we put up some billboards in Roblox, and it just went bananas. I think once Tyga fans saw he had a billboard in Roblox, they freaked out. Once gaming fans saw that Tyga was like promoting his song Freaky Deaky in Roblox, they freaked out, and it just kind of had this viral life that it was really fun. Like again, we were just kind of messing around, throwing random ideas, but it just went crazy, and it ended up converting back to the record, and it was all just more awareness. Like we couldn't track clicks, but
right.
It works. Like stuff like that, you need talking points for a rollout, and that definitely was a talking point.
That's awesome.
So it was fun.
Have you done anything else in the space like that large, or?
That large? I mean, we're still working to. I think we have a few ideas that we're really excited about. I don't want to say them yet, but I think we're still trying to understand the space. I think I've always leaned in on the kind of the marketing side and learned, like, especially with like kind of the YouTube algorithm, those YouTube compilations you were seeing breaking records 3 years ago. We've leaned in there and seen records climb up viral charts and just have a life of their own, but haven't done enough with like real gamers yet, like really working with them and figuring out, all right, what's a streamer that aligns with this artist's fan base, or if they may just fuck with each other, like Lucky and Bruce Ray or someone like that. But we're still trying to find more of those, or just get them in the space. So many of our artists game, they don't know who to reach out to. You know what I mean?
you know who to call now.
Say less. I'm here now.
Yeah. What are you most excited about when it comes to like new artists on the roster on Empire? Some big moments you guys have coming up this year.
Okay. I think currently what I'm most kind of excited about is a lot of our quote-unquote underground artists, like our Luckies, our D Savages, I think our Bones, Xavier Wolf. I'm really excited about those artists. One, they're about to hit the road and seeing the rooms they sell, and like I think Lucky's doing 3K cap rooms, something like that, and they just lose their mind. And I think it's an interesting moment in music because I think younger fans, they can choose whatever music they like. You don't have to go to the radio to find out what the big records are, and they're choosing records that are non-traditional. They're DIY. They aren't mastered, and like to me that's really cool. And it's just like it's this kind of wild west in music right now where you're just seeing these kids that are just streaming these records over and over and over. They're like he's like a god, you know what I mean? And I think it's just cool. Like you see that there's no before I was in music, there was gatekeepers and only certain records would become hits if you shook certain hands and kissed certain babies. Now it's really up to the kids. Like they can decide. They're deciding even what the names of songs are or what songs you have to drop. Like we had a record that just went viral for D Savage and it was a snippet, didn't plan on dropping, and then it goes viral on TikTok. You have to drop it, and now the record's going crazy. And we've seen certain parts of songs that kids will only engage with, and then an artist has to change the name of the song so like other kids can find it. Like it's a really unique time in music where fans are dictating some of the art experience, which I think is really unique and
that's
fun
incredible.
to market in.
Yeah, that's the beauty of where we're at within this space right now. Dope. Let's do one more question.
So we had a record, Money Man's 24, and this was again. We have such a large catalog, and half of my job is just looking on a kind of our back end and trying to understand these records, where they're streaming, who their fans are. And this was a day in COVID. It was me and Moody in the office by ourselves.
Shout out to Moody.
Moody Jones. GM of dance. No, the GOAT. But we were in the office, and I was looking around on the kind of the back end analytics, and I have certain kind of tells of if I think a record can crack, and what to do in those cases. And
what are those metrics that you
percentage increase? So I'm constantly looking at Apple for like music for artists, and then Spotify for artists, and then obviously socials as well. Like my whole team keeps push notifications for all our artists, so we're constantly like. If anything, happens in an artist's rollout or, something, there's an uptick on streaming, I'll have just little tells that I've built out. So I was looking on Spotify and there was a percentage increase of a demo that I was looking for of his fans. And then in that moment, looked over to a period of time. The record had been out for like probably 6 months. And it just made sense. A lot of times I think, especially artists, they'll look at, what are my first week, 2 week like numbers, but you really can't learn a lot about a record in that time. It really takes kind of 4 to 6 months. And in that sweet spot, you forget that like 9 months is the typical, like at 9 months, you're typically at your peak of a record. People like to think it's the first week. No, it takes a while to grow these records. I
agree, man. And even when I used to put out records, it would take 6 months. And this is before everything that we're dealing with now. But I really do believe that 6 month mark is the make or break, right? And then that 9 month is the peak, like you said.
You'll really hit it. I think those kind of like the height of like Tekashi and like the YouTube numbers and what he was doing first day really polluted a lot of artists' minds and just marketer minds too, because that stuff you can't learn enough about a record. I don't know who my real fans are, at least for that certain song.
I don't think it was about the music for Tekashi though.
Yeah, it was just the numbers.
It was just like he was a really big hype man.
Yeah, those IG lives,
and then like the features and everything. It just kept the momentum kept going crazy.
That was a crazy time in COVID, bro. I've never been more tuned into like IG lives than that, and what was it, Tory Lanez's quarantine sessions or whatever.
Yeah, and then that's where like the Timbo and Swizz Beatz stuff started.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
we were all just glued on our phones at the house,
very confused.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. But for the 24, just to go back to it, found a way, like kind of a lane to market it, cracked the record. Ghazi made the play and got Lil Baby on the remix. And then again, that was a moment, digitally worked the record incredibly well, selling and top spot in Rap Caviar, kind of checking all the boxes. And then we also did a really cool in-life activation with the shoe surgeon, and we did like a special shoe with him that was designed like with certain Kobe elements. We sold, I think, we didn't even sell, we gave away 8. And then as well,
did you guys do like giveaway for the fans for all that stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. And then some partners too. But the shoe was beautiful, had a really dope content piece around it with money. And then again, kind of aligning all departments. Our brands team, was able to lock in, I think at the time the Lakers were in the playoffs, or it was right after, they were able to lock in a really great look on prime time. So like, it was just all of the departments working hand in hand to work this record, and everyone can. I think that's how you really take a record from, you know, a solid foundation to the next level is, you know, we see these hit records and then, you all of a sudden see it on TV, you hear it on the radio, you see it on TikTok. Like,
it's got to be everywhere.
Yeah, you got to just figure out how to work across all platforms, across all walks of life. So
yeah,
we
man.
did it for that one.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, yo, thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the
really
knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a big fan of what you guys are doing at Empire. You guys are really shifting culture.
Thank you.
And doing just a ton for the industry. So,
dope.
Thanks for coming through, my bro.
Thank you, bro. G. All right, bro.
And we're gonna get some big shit popping.
Come on,
this
we
year.
definitely are. We got to. I got to work more with you. I see
Yeah,
this,
man.
what you got going on is too much cool shit for us.
Yeah,
not to.
man. The Empire and Game Over. Let's get it.
Not gonna say less.
We out.